For a country that is often described as fun-loving and freewheeling, Thailand has never had much of a formal drinking culture. Unlike the French with wine, the Japanese with sake, and the Germans with beer, Thais have not traditionally paired alcohol with their food, preferring water, fruit juice, or iced teas or coffee. If alcohol is to be had, it marks a special occasion, worthy of serious partying. ThaiBev produces brown and white spirits, including rum. ThaiBev's most famous, but not best-selling, spirit is Mekong, which originated in 1941 at the Ban Yet Kon distillery west of Bangkok. Originally a state-owned distillery, it dates back to over 200 years to the beginning of the current Chakri dynasty. The launch of Mekong, a rum with added rice, was aimed at producing a high-quality Thai spirit to stem the increase in the import of foreign liquor and to eventually replace imported brands. SangSom rum, however, has been the country's most popular spirit brand for over 29 years, until 2006, holding almost 50% share of the entire brown spirit market in Thailand. The company also produces Mung Korn Thong and Hong Thong and brands based on whiskey, such as Crown 99 and Blue, as well as Scotch whiskey brands such as Hankey Bannister and Penwinnie Scotch whiskey. White spirits are made from molasses without any mixture of color and produced in floor alcohol contents, 28, 30, 35, and 40%. The company's largest selling white spirit is Ruang Khao. The labels are color-coded to reflect the alcoholic strength, but do not have the brand name printed on them. Other brands in the category are Nayam Thai and White Tiger. Molasses is the main raw material used in the production of ThaiBev spirits, so that most of the productions fall under the category of rum. As is the case with all distilled spirits, the distillate is crystal clear when first distilled. Amber and dark brown spirits obtain their color from the extracts from the oak barrel during aging and from caramel, a natural coloring agent. ThaiBev's yeast cultures are used for fermentation, are grown in its own laboratory, and propagated in a yeast propagation tank. The yeast molasses diluted by water, steamed rice that has been sprayed with mold to create sugar, and incubated for 4 days. Water is then added into the fermenter and the mixture is allowed to ferment for approximately 72 hours. The liquid that is left at the end of the fermentation process is known as a fermented mash. Distillation takes place in a distilling column and a pot still, which is a large copper or stainless steel kettle. Distilling involves boiling the fermented mash and condensing its vapor. SangSom is a rum from Thailand, distilled from sugarcane. It was introduced in November 1977 and has become a dominant brand in the Thai spirits market. Over 70 million liters are sold in Thailand each year, achieving a market share of more than 70% in its category. SangSom Special Rum, as it is called on its website, is distilled from molasses. Its alcohol content is 40% by volume. It is aged in charred oak barrels for 5 years before bottling. The drink won gold medallions in liquor competitions in Madrid, Spain in 1982 and 1983, and again in Barcelona in 2006. The medals are featured prominently on the product's packaging and have led to it being referred to locally as SangSom Riantong, SangSom Gold Medallion. The beverage is virtually unheard of outside Thailand. The manufacturer's SangSom company export to around 20 countries, but export sales account for barely 1% of total sales. SangSom Company is a member of Thai Beverage Public Company, which itself is a group company of International Beverage Holdings Limited. Smooth and easy drinking, Hong Tong is a golden spirit made from molasses at the renowned Bang Yet Hon distillery near Bangkok. The name Hong Tong translates to Golden Phoenix. You don't have much choice when it comes to Thai whiskey. While SangSom and Mekong are quite popular brown liquors, they are not quite whiskeys, but rather rums. The primary ingredient of the two brands is molasses, which makes them spiced rum. Whiskey is a product of distilling alcohol made from grains, and that is exactly what Hong Tong and Blend 285 are, even if they still contain some molasses. Hong Tong is Thailand's most popular brand of whiskey. Of course, there are a few other smaller brands, 100 Pipers and Lau Khao, but Hong Tong and Blend 285 are definitely what Thai locals drink most, and you'll notice that just by walking along the side soys, and you will see local Thais mostly drinking Lao beer and Hong Tong. Maybe it's also because Hong Tong and 285 are slightly cheaper than SangSom. It's around 139 baht for a 350 milliliter bottle of Hong Tong, compared to about the same price for a 300 milliliter bottle of SangSom. But then SangSom is a bit stronger at 40%, compared to Hong Tong and Blend 285, both at 35% alcohol. According to Chinese source Yingya Xingling, 1405 to 1433, Hai Sin Lo, the Chinese name for Thailand, had two kinds of spirits, both of which are distilled. The French diplomat Simon de la Loubre, who visited Siam during the mid-Anantaya period, wrote about Siamese spirits. But as in hot countries, the continual dissipation of spirits makes them desire what increases them. They passionately esteem aquavite, and the stronger more than others. The Siamese do make it of rice, and do frequently rack it with lime. Of rice they do at first make beer, which they drink not, but they convert it to aquavite, which they call lao, and the Portuguese arak, an Arabian word which properly signifies sweat, and metaphorically essence, and by way of excellence aquavite. Of the rice beer they likewise make vinegar. In 1790, during the reign of King Rama I, Bang Yak Han Liquor Distillery was known to have been established. At this time, spirits that were made at a government distillery were called Lao Rong, and the private distilleries that existed everywhere were being declared illegal. In 1834, English sources mention that the exports of Siam include white spirits distilled from glutinous rice. The name Lao Khao came into existence when Lao Si, including Mekong, were made after World War II. Distilling Lao Khao in Thailand must be licensed under the Criminal Activities Act, which was introduced in the 1950s. This regulation was passed after a spate of Lao Khao of poor quality being produced, which resulted in methanol-related poisoning. The methanol was produced as a byproduct of the spirits reacting with tin and aluminum stills. The metals were switched out with stainless steel when the government took over all distilleries by 1960. The distilleries were then returned to civilian control as the government could not operate all of them. By 1984, only 12 distilleries were left. ThaiBev then took control of these 12 distilleries in 1985, forming a monopoly. In 2003, Thaksin Shinawatra filled an election promise made during the 2001 Thai general election to let people produce the spirits with license, thus breaking the monopoly. However, licenses are hard to come by. Most modern Lao Khao is distilled from molasses instead of rice to reduce production costs. Snake wine is an alcoholic beverage produced by infusing whole snakes in rice wine or grain alcohol. The drink was first recorded to have been consumed in China during the Western Zhou dynasty, 1040 to 770 BC, and considered an important curative and believed to reinvigorate a person according to traditional Chinese medicine. It can be found in China, India, Vietnam, Okinawa, Laos, Thailand, Cambodia, and throughout Southeast Asia. The snakes, preferably venomous ones, are not usually preserved for their meat, but to have their essence and/or snake venom dissolved in the liquor. The snake venom proteins are unfolded by the ethanol, and therefore the completed beverage is usually, but not always, safe to drink. The Huat Street night market of Taipei, Taiwan is renowned for its snake foods and wine products. This concludes our quick look at the distilling industry in Thailand. We sincerely hope you enjoyed it. If you ever find yourself in the Kingdom of Thailand, please consider trying some or all of these spirits. If you found this video entertaining or informative, please give us a like and subscribe. Also, if you would like to help support us, please find the link to our Patreon page below. We have provided affiliate links in the description for hotel, travel, and car rentals. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. If you would like us to cover any places or topics related to Thailand or Southeast Asia, just ask and we will try to accommodate you as quickly as possible. Until next time, thanks for watching.